again, friends. I'm so happy you're back. And guess what? Even though we read a sad story yesterday, we have a happier one today. At least it has a happier ending, okay? So, our ornament today has this beautiful rainbow. Some of you might have already guessed what story we're going to read today from the rainbow. And some of you might not know yet, which is totally fine. Surprises are fun. So, let's get our story. Again, I keep forgetting to tell you guys, from the Storybook Bible. And the story we're reading today is called A New Beginning. And if you're following along, it starts on page 38. All right? So, A New Beginning. Time passed, and many people filled the earth. Everyone everywhere had forgotten about God and were only doing bad things all the time. God's heart filled with pain when he saw what had happened to the world he loved. Everywhere was disease and death and destruction, all the things God hates most. Now don't worry, it gets better. We're not going to have a whole sad story today, okay? I promise. Now, Noah was God's friend, which was odd in those days because nobody else was. Noah listened to God. He talked to God. He just loved being with God, like you do with your best friend. Noah, God said, things have gone wrong. People have filled my world with hate instead of love. They're destroying themselves and each other and my world. I must stop them. First, we'll build an ark. Do you know how to build an ark? Neither did Noah, and neither do I. Luckily, God knew, and he would show him. A storm is coming, God told Noah, but I will rescue you, I promise. I'll send the animals to you, ones that creep and crawl, and slither and slime, and gallop and hop and bound and climb. And don't forget to pack everyone's food. The storm was going to wash away all the hate and sadness and everything that had gone wrong to make the world clean again. God had thought up a way to keep Noah safe. But Noah would have to trust God and do exactly what God told him. So Noah built an ark, which is short for a very large boat. Noah's neighbors came out to watch and point and laugh because they didn't believe Noah about the boat or the storm or needing to be rescued. And Noah must have looked rather silly. His boat was in the desert. The desert was nowhere near the sea, and there wasn't even a cloud in the sky. Why would anyone need an umbrella, let alone a boat? But Noah didn't mind so much what other people thought. He minded what God thought. So he just did what God told him to do. When the ark was ready, God said, "All aboard!" And Noah's family and all the animals climbed inside, and then God shut the door. Creak. And it started raining for minutes that joined up into hours, that joined up into days, that joined up into weeks and weeks. And the rain joined up into puddles, that joined up into rivers, that joined up into lakes, that joined up into a flood that covered the whole world. Their boat had once seemed so big, suddenly seemed very small. But in the middle of the huge storm, in the crashing waves, in all the thunder and lightning, through it all, God was with them. And God kept them safe for 40 long days and 40 long nights. Finally, the rain stopped. The sun came out, and Noah threw open all the windows. "Hooray!" everyone shouted. Noah sent his dove out to explore, and it wasn't long before she brought him back a fresh olive leaf. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. She'd found a tree and land. The water was going down. At last the boat landed, quite suddenly, on top of a great mountain. As soon as everyone was safe, God said, "Out you come!" And so they did, and everyone kept skipping and dancing onto dry land. The first thing Noah did was thank God for rescuing them, just as he had promised. And the first thing God did was make another promise. I won't ever destroy the world again. And like a warrior who puts away his bow and arrow at the end of a great battle, God said, "See, I've hung up my bow in the clouds." And there in the clouds, just where the storm meets the sun, there was a beautiful bow made of light. It was a new beginning in God's world. It wasn't long before everything went wrong again, but God wasn't surprised. He knew this would happen. That's why before the beginning of time, he had another plan, a better plan. A plan that did not destroy the world, but rescue it. A plan to one day send his own son, the rescuer. God's strong anger against hate and sadness and death would come down once more, but not on his people or his world. No, God's war bow was not pointing down at his people. It was pointing up into the heart of heaven. And that is the end of our story today. So, with our family line that we're going down, that includes Noah. Did you know that Noah was part of Jesus' family? It's pretty cool. And to remember the story of Noah and the ark, we have our rainbow, and it also helps us remember that God always keeps his promises. So here we go on our Jesse tree. I never did fix our day 2 one, did I? Whoopsie daisy. There we go. All right, there's our December 4th and our rainbow. I love you guys so much. Merry Christmas. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.